Hey everybody, Dante White and Darren Adams here. We're going to start the webinar here in about 2 minutes. Want to give everybody a little bit of time to get signed in and get ready, and then we'll kick it off. But very excited to present to you the power of Keap and the power of AI lead generation. And it's a very hot topic, so give us about 2 minutes, and then we'll kind of kick everything off. Looks like we got a couple of people trickling in. See Tara and Jill. How's it going? So I don't know if I told you this, Darren, but I know Tara and I know Jill through a reality show that we were in. So, yeah. Back in January, we all met on the floor there at the reality show called The Blocks, and so it was a pretty exciting opportunity.
See, you just, how cool is that? You just casually drop, oh yeah, it was a reality show. Come on.
I could tell you wild things.
As if that's what everybody does. Oh yeah, I was on a reality show last month.
Yeah, I've done some pretty crazy things in my life that it's like that kind of seems like kind of nonchalant, like found myself out at Burning Man randomly. I've done tattoos, got to fly on like
no, the Burning Man thing is that's like a mic drop by itself. But then the word randomly just is like a wait, what? How do you find yourself randomly at Burning Man? Like I can understand if you make plans and like I'm going to this year, I'm going to Burning Man, blah blah blah. I got the whole thing, but like, oh yeah, no, we just happened to be at Burning Man randomly.
A couple of years ago, I was a little bit more wild. I would just kind of fly by the seat of my pants a little bit more. So I've since matured. I got a couple of grays in my beard, and so it's like made me kind of mature a little bit. But yeah, I still get into some pretty wild things. So, well, let's go ahead and kick it off, shall we? So gave everybody a little bit of time to jump in. Hello, everybody. It's Dante White from OpUS again. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here today. I am joined by Darren Adams of Keap. We are going to be going over the power of Keap CRM and AI. It's a newer tool that's available to most people, right? It's a very hot thing on the market, and it's very important to use and really lean into that technology, right? And so what I like about Keap CRM already is it already comes with copy that you can get, right? So it makes it easier for you to kind of implement your strategy, because some of the roadblock is, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? How often am I going to set that cadence, right? It becomes a big roadblock of how we market ourselves to customers. And with the power of AI, it makes it that much easier. So I'm going to hand it off to Darren so he can kind of get things kicked off. As promised, we'll spend about 15 minutes here today. And then next Tuesday, join us here to see a deeper dive. That one's going to be about an hour, and we'll really show you the power of the platform itself. And then as always, you can, buy it. If you like what you see here today, just click the buy link, but definitely also register for the next webinar that's coming up. So take it away, Darren.
Yeah, thanks. Because so much, exactly what you said, people don't know. They're not sure what to say when it comes to marketing. Like, oh yeah, I have some coaching, or I have a product, or I've got some service. And it's great. It'll change the world. It'll do all this stuff, but I'm just not sure what to say or how to say it. Like you're saying, the cadence to say it, the right words to say. And if we can take some of that, because see, my mind's going a million miles an hour. And you're like, you're getting me riled up early. But if we can take some of that pain away, because Keap is an amazing tool that will like deliver all that. But if we can also solve the problem of what to say and how to say it and all that, it makes it even easier. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to show, let's see, where, don't you hate it when all of a sudden your cursor disappears and you can't find it on your screen?
Yeah, I had an update today. My computer decided it was going to update, and as soon as it came back online, then Zoom decided it was going to update, and then I was like 5 minutes late to the first meeting of the day.
That what always is. Let me click on this, and there. Hopefully that'll show you what it is. What Keap just came out with It's actually, I was going to see what they came out with a short while ago. It's still technically not officially released to the general population, general public. This is still in beta, but I'm going to give you sort of a sneak preview of a little bit of what it is. What we call the copy generator. So this is artificial intelligence. You've heard everybody talking about artificial intelligence and ChatGPT and Jasper and all that kind of stuff. This is the latest artificial intelligence copywriting. Well, excuse me, the artificial intelligence there mixed up, married with, partnered up with the best copywriting practices. So if you had the most brilliant marketers out there who were then using this is what it would sort of be. We actually have professional marketers on my team. We have an elite team, and we have some marketers there, and they say the copy generator writes better copy than they could write themselves, and writes it like that fast, as opposed to taking all day. So what Keap does to start with is we have a bunch of plays. This is like an automation, like a campaign, like something. And this would be an example if you were to look up some of the different options for plays. So that, like, over on the right, a testimonial request, or a new customer welcome, or over on the left, lead magnet download. So every single person needs to have some kind of a lead magnet download. So you're offering something, I'm assuming you know this, is you offer something for free in exchange for someone's email information. That's called a lead magnet. I'm going to give you something of value that's great, it's wonderful, and just give me your email address. So that's that. So we'll pretend like that's what we're going to do. So we'll click on that button. By the way, this is just a page. There are dozens of these plays or options or campaigns or whatever you want to choose. And so you just pick whichever one you want to do. We'll set the lead magnet download. And so it'll then say, okay, here's what we can create for you. You can see sort of in the middle of the screen, assets created by this play. It'll create a landing page. It'll create the success page that comes right after that. It'll create an initial email. It'll create a follow-up email. It'll create another email. It'll create website call to action content words. It'll create content for your social media or whatever. I mean, it lists a whole bunch of stuff that you can create. And then you say, not you create, what it will create. And it'll say, yeah, do you want to do that? And you say, yeah, I think that's good. That's a good idea. Let's do that thing. Since it's a lead magnet, we have to come up with like the title for it. It will even suggest the title. So maybe it's a downloadable, checklist or something. In this case, for this scenario, it's someone who is helping someone do entrepreneurial work-life balance. You can see they've got a little checklist they're going to do. They're going to help people balance, your work-life stuff. And so it suggests a whole bunch of titles for you. And if you don't like them, just keep going through. It'll keep writing things as long as you want it to. It'll just keep suggesting. You can see at the top, this is step 3 of 3. So we've told it what we wanted to do. We've told it the assets are good. We've come up with a title for our lead magnet, and then it's done. I mean, that was it. I was going to say a matter of seconds. I will say, the more that you talk to the copy generator ahead of time, the more that you sit down and answer questions, the better it's going to get to know you, and the more it's going to know what it is that you want to do. Are you looking for leads? Are you looking for sales? Are you in this kind of business? Are you in this kind of business? Whatever you might, are you doing a product, a service, whatever. So the more you do, it's more going to learn. But it's like this: as soon as you push yes, go, push the button, it does it. And over there on the left, you can see the whole list of all the things. This is the landing page. This is the first landing page that it created, and it's done for you. You didn't have to do a single thing. And then it does a success page after that. Then it'll write an email. So this would be the first email that goes out. Click here to download the entrepreneurial work-life balance checklist. So this is it. The email that you didn't have to write, the landing page you didn't have to create. There's the second email that goes after that. Hey, thanks. Here's the next step for you. And here's another. So here's the downloadable thing. This is where they check that right there to download that. You can see over on the left, because someone they went to that landing page that we saw and they filled the thing out. So you can see over on the left, when the landing page form is submitted, then immediately send an email. This is that email. So it not only wrote the emails for you, because you're thinking, okay, yeah, like it'll write an email. It not just wrote the email, it created a landing page too. Remember, it created a line, and then it put it all into an automation, into a campaign. So it's not just, I think it's misleading when we call it a copy generator, because it really is everything, soup to nuts, A to Z. It creates it all for you. So then you can see back over there on the left, send this email immediately when they fill in that form, then wait a day, send another email, wait 2 days, and send the final email. That's it. You went in and answered a couple of questions, pushed a button, and the copy generator wrote emails, created landing pages, and put them all in an automation. So now it's all set and ready to go. You just take the link for that landing page. I'll stop sharing my screen so we can, you take the link for that landing page,
Yep.
You embed it on your website, or you put it in a social media post, or you send it out in an email, whatever it is. And now it's all set up. People are coming in, people are registering, your database is filling up, and the automation is automatically happening. The whole thing about when we said we don't know what to say, you don't have to worry about what to say, because the copy generator wrote it. See, this is, Dante, this is like business changing for people.
It is. It's super easy. I mean, I use it all the time. I've got several landing pages that I use for lead magnets, right? And it's like, okay, create the title. What am I going to say? How I'm going to try to say it? It creates that for me. Then I can edit it to say, I don't really like it this way. Maybe I want to make it sound a little bit more like this. And then it learns from what I like to change, right? And the other part of it too, right, is that cadence, that email, because I would say that's where most entrepreneurs, that's where most businesses fall down. It's great to get the lead, but then you have to follow up on said lead, right? You have to make sure that they click on the link, download the file, schedule the meeting, whatever your call to action is really, really important. And, you know, if people are like me, they're like, oh, I'll remember. I never remember, right? Like, or I might remember like 2 weeks later. And so it becomes really difficult to keep things kind of going through that cadence. And this does it for me. So it's awesome.
Just the line you said, something about the following up. It reminded me of that line from Seinfeld where he had made a reservation for a car. I don't know if you ever watched that episode. He made a reservation for a car, and he shows up, and there aren't any cars left. And he says to the lady, I made a reservation. She says, yes, I know you made a reservation. And he said, it's not so much the making the reservation that's what you need to do, it's the holding the reservation, the keeping the reservation. That's where the action comes. That's where you're, and he's given her a really hard time. That's exactly what you said. It's one thing to get the contact and have the intention of following up the people, but that's where we fall through, and that's where we don't follow up. So it's not just a matter of getting the contact, it's a matter of reaching out to the contact, of nurturing that following up with the people, because that's where the business takes place. That's how you get the money. It's the follow up. Then and people wonder, oh, why aren't I making more money? Why aren't I being more successful? It's because they're not reaching out and following up with it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I installed the system myself early January, maybe mid-January is when I really kicked off Keap. And, you know, we're coming on towards the end of March, and I've already generated a little over $1.8 million in pipeline in 3 months, right? And so previous to that, you know, I'd be happy to scratch the surface of, you know, maybe generating 10K in pipeline in 3 months if I was lucky, right? Because a lot of it laid on my shoulders. I'm a single father. I'm over here. I'm traveling to different locations, going over there, trying to do customer requests, trying to do, you know, speaking engagements, all the balls in the air juggling, right? But now it's kind of set it and forget it, right? And because of that, it leads people into the actions that I want, and I don't have to double check things, think about it, all that stuff. That's why I love it personally. So.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Because so often as entrepreneurs, we do have to do all that. We have to wear all the hats. We have to juggle all the balls in the air and keep them in the air. And it's hard to do. And that's why there's entrepreneurial burnout. That's why we get frustrated on that. So if we can, the more we can turn things over to automation. You mentioned the pipeline. So now all of a sudden you can see on a pipeline, you can see where all the stages of your business are. You know how to move them along. And even that, like even moving people from one stage to another can trigger some automation. So that's not you having to do that. That's automation.
Yeah, definitely. So I was going to ask if you're able to show kind of that cadence calc screen that you had set up. Maybe we can like kind of show people what you can add as like a step in there, right? Because you can customize it. This is just what's given to you, but you can even go in there and just kind of briefly tweak some things. I don't know if you want
to show back to what I have for the generator.
Yeah, if you could.
Let me pull it up. Yeah. Which part do you want me to go back farther?
No, this is great right here, right?
Okay.
So like you can customize like the wait one day, or like let's click on one of the emails, right? So like you can go in there and you can also edit the actual copy that it generates for you as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, right in there. So you could, and this isn't live, these are just screenshots. So, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
so you can see that you could click in here. And this is what I love about it. It's because some people are like, oh, I don't want to write it all for me. It might not do the exact same. It'll, even if it's just writing 90% of what you eventually use, that saves you 90% of your work. And then you can go and you can say, oh, I think I'm going to change a couple words here. I want to insert a line here. It's already done the majority of it for you. And then you say, okay, I like the cadence here, but I want to insert a text in there, or I want to put another email to say something here, or I want to drive people to my calendar link so they can sign up. And so you can insert that if you want to, or you can even go back to wherever, clear to the beginning of that one. There might be, you can see over on the left, the lowest, the last one on there, the schedule console. You're going to invite people to an appointment. So maybe you partner that. You start with the lead magnet download and then say, okay, now I'm going to have another campaign of driving them to book an appointment with me. So you can mix them together. You can have individual ones. You can run as many of these as you want. And the copy generator will just write them all day long for you.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I utilize, right? Is I use a lead magnet, come in, people either download the free content. In my case, I'll give, up to 3 months of free phones on one of the offers that I have, right? And so if people don't actually click on that, don't move forward with that part of it, if I don't move them into the next sequence inside the pipeline, then it drops them into the next automation, which is the long-term nurture, right? Which is the call to action on that one is to book a meeting with me, right? So I just keep kind of funneling them on. It'll drip to certain things. If they click on something different, it'll take them down a different path, so on and so forth, right? And so to that point, it just really, it amplifies what I can do as a single person. And it really kind of is an intelligent way to also give the client, give your customers, however you're utilizing it, whether it's for prospecting or for current lead nurturing, really give them that white glove experience of what they want to see, right? And it speaks kind of to your voice. So let me ask you this, Darren, because we wanted to keep it short and sweet. What else did you want to share with the folks on the AI copy generator?
I think we've scratched the surface enough to give them an idea. The whole idea is, I was going to show you one more quick thing.
Okay.
Let me, because I was just this woman right here. I was just over in England. I met this woman. This woman is a naturopathic, because I know a lot of people like, oh, the copy generator won't be able to write for me. I have a specific niche and I have my own certain way. So Paula is a naturopathic beekeeper. I've never even met a naturopathic beekeeper, and she's a honey sommelier, whatever that is. And she thought, I wonder, so I'm going to put it to the test. I'm going to give it the hardest test I can, see if it can create like a document for her, whatever. And she said she was stunned at what it could do. She wanted to create like a top 10 tips for getting started for your own beekeeping stuff. And she plugged it in and everything. I thought it had been reading all of my emails or something, because it knew exactly what I wanted to say. It was brilliant about it, very specific things that fit for what she wanted. And it created all that stuff. So don't in your mind think, oh, it won't work. It works. This is where the technology is. Let the copy generator write the stuff for you. Let it even build the campaigns for you, and then let that do the follow-up to help you be more successful.
Yeah, that is super niche, right? When you first popped it up, I thought it said naturopathic bookkeeper, and I was like, well, that's kind of crazy specific. But being a naturopathic beekeeper is also super specific, right? And so how would one write a copy about that unless you were like deeply involved in it? And it sounds like the AI was able to do that very well, and then off to the races as well. So what I'd like to kind of leave everybody with, right, because we're coming on the end of what we said was going to be 15 minutes, right? And we just wanted to keep it short and sweet. We know that it's the middle of the day. We know it's really hard to get the time away. But next week on Tuesday, we're going to do a deep dive. That one's going to be an hour. We're going to go really into the power of how it can automate your sales process, what it can bring to the table, how you can generate more and more leads and more pipeline, all that great stuff. If you're already ready to rock and roll, you can also click to buy, right? There's a link below. You can just go ahead and click on that. Anybody who subscribes through me gets a great discount on service. So that's always a bonus to save money and become better and generate more pipeline. But I want to make sure you don't have anything else, Darren, before we wrap up, and maybe take some questions if there's anybody in the audience that's has any questions.
No, I'm good. I'll keep it short, as we've already gone a little bit over.
Yeah.
But we'll save it all for next week. So if anyone has more questions, we'll be popping back on to answer more questions next week and answer anything we can do.
All right, awesome. So I'll wait around for a little bit, make sure there's no questions. It seems like, when whether there's questions or not, it always kind of gives you the two things. Either you've lost people or you've explained it perfectly. And I think honestly, in this case, it's the latter, right? Because it is very straightforward. It is very just cut and dry. This is how it works. This is how you can generate pipeline. So what I'll do is I will give everybody their time back this afternoon. Please join us next Tuesday for a deeper dive of how you can utilize the service. Like I said, if you're ready to buy as well, click below, go ahead and help yourself to it. Anybody who signs up through my link obviously gets a great price on it, and you also get automatic copy as well. So even outside of the AI copy generator, I'm going to give you templates that you can help you utilize the service, right, and get yourself going. We do got one question right here. So we'll copy dates. Yep. Oh, yep. So we are going to, it's just a question on if we're going to make a recording. So yes, there will be a recording of the webinar. You'll find that on my YouTube channel. I'll probably drop it on social as well. But either way, you will be able to check out the kind of the power of that. Looks like we are good to go. So Darren, once again, thank you so much for the time taking it out. Thank you again for joining us next week for the hour deep dive. And as everybody, as I always say, thank you so much, because you've invested in yourself by being here. And, as I always say, manifestation without perspiration stays in your imagination. So it's always important to move forward, right? Have the idea, but also move forward in baby steps to get there. And the success is yours. It's out there waiting for you. So everybody have a good one, and we'll check you next Tuesday. All right, bye.
Yeah.